Welcome to another episode of Rugby League Outsiders Extra, and I've got a very special guest with me today. I'll give you his full introduction. Former Bradford manager, Salford, North Wales Crusaders, Toronto head of football, Gloucester All Golds.
A little bit.
He's involved there slightly.
Slightly, yeah.
Have I missed anyone?
Wigan, you remember that?
Wigan, yeah, of course, Wigan.
Yorkshire, Great Britain.
Great Britain, and
played at Cronulla
in Australia.
Played at Bradford and played at, for the Port Wakefield Trinity fans, 12 very bad games in my last year of Rugby League.
An MBE, Brian Noble.
There you go.
So, Brian, you're an expansionist. Obviously, we're sort of representing the Midlands today.
Yeah.
First of all, what do you think of the game?
Brilliant start from the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
You can't say anything else. They looked fluent, they looked well in control, they were forcing errors, and you think half time you're scratching, you're thinking, well, the other mob, i.e. Bradford, you've got to pick the game up, and they did.
They did.
And I think that's the difference in class and personnel, I suppose, at the end of the day. But you have to say that 12-6-0 and then 6-all and then 12-6 to the Hurricanes, and then just the score just before half time maybe punched a hole in somebody's stomach there. But the second half, I think the top end of the championship team turned up and played the way they should have been from the start, and that's not being disrespectful.
Now, what do you think they did differently other than sped the game up, really?
Well, it's not difficult. They paint the field north to south, and they went north to south. You just can't run it. Sometimes you get in their head that because there's a difference in standard in the competition, and the difference in levels, that you can just run around people. But particularly on this pitch, which is not a big pitch, and there are principles of playing rugby league that mean you've got to go forward first, and I think they cured that right from the off and made their second half a whole lot easier. But that doesn't mean to say that the Hurricanes weren't well worthy of the plaudits that they're getting, because I think they were.
Looking at Bradford then, there's been a change of strategy has been announced sort of this year with regards to recruitment. What exactly has changed other than we're sort of, you're spending more, or is it are you not spending more?
Actually, spending less.
You're spending less?
Yeah, and trying to recruit people that want to be here and have a challenge and are hungry for something.
Yeah.
The chairman has some good connections within the game, and certainly I've got good connections within the game, so the process of trying to encourage people to come and play here for the right reasons has happened. We've not quite cured our problems on the road yet. We've lost 3 from 3 on the road, but won our 3 home games, which was a reversal of last year. So, I'm excited what we might or might not do this year, but it's on the back of recruiting people that want to be there and have a desire and either a point to prove or some energy in the tank to show their worth. Yeah,
and certainly looking towards the 1895 Cup now, there's looking like there's that chance to go to Wembley. Is that exciting?
Oh, it's a long way off that. I think you have to win another 2 games, is it? Or maybe it might even be 3 games. 2 games is 2 games, but when you've got people like Halifax in your way, who are local rivals as well, so nothing's given. And I'm a big believer in whatever standard you're playing at, whatever you're doing, it's what happens next week that's important.
Yeah.
And I think that's a message for the Hurricanes after such a good show, and if the coach should be showing the first half and little bits of the second half of all the things they did well, I think who they play next week is the important thing. And for Bradford, we have a league fixture against our nearest and dearest, which is Halifax. So the pots and pans will be flying on Monday night in a couple of weeks. So that's where you can get carried away projecting that we're going to be this and we're going to be that, and you end up with a bloody nose. So just focus on what's there next week. Yeah, definitely.
Talking about expansion very quickly, I know you're busy.
No, you're all right.
What do you think Rugby League needs to do to successfully expand? Because I know you've been involved in a lot of expansion teams. I know you're a big fan of the Crusaders. What do you think we need to get right to make sure we continue to grow?
Well, I call it growth rather than expansion.
Yeah.
Now, is the area ripe for development? I.e., at the end of the day, will we get a lot of players out of that at the junior level? Will they want to play rugby league? And anybody I've ever been involved with the franchise stuff has always wanted to be involved. We had a great, vibrant carry on in Toronto. It was massively vibrant in North Wales with a lot of natural rugby players as well.
Yeah.
There's plenty to go around, if you know what I mean. And I think that's got to be one of the major criteria. Where are your own players eventually going to come from, so you can get some local interest, etc., etc. And then you've got to find players if they're from the north of England, who want that same evangelical missionary position of spreading the word of the game. And it's easy to do because you watch the product and you think, wow,
Yeah.
they bash each other, these blokes. They're great athletes, they
Sell
love
it,
each other. The stuff off of the field, the community stuff off the field is second to none. You know, life lessons for children growing up in relation to discipline on the field, all of these things. I've had not just one argument, I've had plenty of arguments with people that stood on the sideline saying that these kids, whether they be boys, girls, or whatever gender they want to represent, are learning life lessons, if I could say it, on a rugby league field.
Yeah.
You know, it's certainly stood me in good stead right throughout my career in relation to when you take action, when you don't take action, when you have to roll your sleeves up and have a dig at something. Everybody these days and age talks about resilience within people. Well, this game teaches you resilience. You're not resilient.
Yeah.
You just get off the field. Or if you're a fan or you're an administrator, it teaches you resilience. You know, the losing and the winning in life and the drawing in life and all of those life lessons that sport gives you are in abundance in rugby league because it's the ultimate team combat sport for me.
What do you think of IMG's sort of proposal? I know it's early days. What do you think
I don't
of
know.
IMG's
It's early days.
to grow the sport?
I don't know. I'll tell you why I don't know. It just seems to me that they make a decision to do something, then give all the clubs 10 weeks to work it out.
That's what I was going to say.
They seem to be dragging their feet. If they're going to take governance of the game and they want it to look a certain way, they can do that. However, if they're at the behest of all the clubs, so all of these things have to be voted in. That does slow the mechanism now. I think it's unreasonably slow at the moment. I think there are some things that they know need to happen, should happen.
Do you think
should be getting to the point when doing those kind of things?
Do you think it should do you think it should be more of a dictatorship and we're basically saying this is how we see the sport, this is how we believe we're going to grow it, get on board or not?
Autocratic benevolence. That's what I like to call it. You know, it's you need somebody making decisions with some good people around them, and then the club's buying into that. Yeah. Somebody independent has to make some decisions for me. Somebody who's intelligent, articulate, and they're good decisions. If you can justify the decisions, we're doing this because of this. Then let's not make any bones about this. You can make a wrong decision. We can still change it afterwards. Yeah. We made a wrong decision, so we're going to change it. So I just think a little bit more speed and a few more incisive decisions.
Superb.